Flora FX Overhaul by Max G3D. The mod author has always been a love of games that were very alive in their art, with lots of animated parts, lots of interactivity, and overall dynamics. Be it by the graphics, destructible environments, dynamic environments, or simply lush flora that is heavily affected by wind with lots of particles flying around. This is the main reason why this mod has been created, to bring Fallout 4 a bit more life by giving it a much needed and satisfying vegetation FX overhaul. It does change the branch textures for all the trees to give them some dead dark brown leaves, edits the stats records for floral meshes to give them more wind effects, significantly increases the wind parameters in all vanilla weathers, and NAC if you're using the compatibility patch. And finally, it adds falling leaves particles to most of the Commonwealth and Far Harbor, Nuka-Cola, Nuka World, whatever the hell it's called. Forgive me. This mod will not be compatible with pretty much any mod that affects tree textures or edits default weathers. Some examples would be Commonwealth's Confines Redux and Fallout 4 Seasons Regrowth, etc. Performance hits, the mod author is not sure because, let's face it, Fallout 4 runs like hot garbage. And overall, I can say that this mod is beautiful. The ambiance it creates is quite impressive, much needed, and something that you didn't get with the original vanilla Fallout. I think that it is highly cinematic. This is probably perfect for people who make, what are those videos called, machinimas or whatever. This fits that vein perfectly. The only gripe I could say I have with it is that the trees just endlessly drop leaves, endlessly. So realistically thinking, for immersion, you would think like the trees would have ran out of leaves by now, the amount of leaves they're constantly dropping. That might be the only thing that pulls you out of it. But if you want it for simply cinematic sake, then there is no need to look any further, because this mod is truly cinematic. If you ever do cut scenes or modifying your own little videos, this is probably the perfect one to use in that sense. It's very John Woo, if you will. Personally, I like it a great deal. I find it to make Fallout 4 a bit more relatable. If you live in an area like, say, New York, where fall is very prominent here, well, it's kind of over, it's winter now, but it gives that sort of feel that you can only experience through living in an area at that season. And if you don't, this might be a perfect way to experience fall if you live in a warm climate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. PreWar money retexture by Sakura 9 is exactly what you see. It takes all of the fantasy Fallout money and turns it into real pre-war money from that timeline of the 1950s, I'd say. You can get between labels that say $1,000 in 10s, 2020s, or 500 and 1020s. And I chose the 2020s. I love the work here, I love the look, and it's more immersive in my personal opinion, as it is supposed to be Americana in the 40s. I don't know why we have this weird play money. And I've always been one who felt that real American money fit perfectly in Fallout 4. It also comes in pristine versions, and it comes in, obviously, grimy, dirty versions. Whatever fits your proclivity. You can also have it at the vanilla textures of 512 by 256, or 1024 by 512 resolution. I opt for the highest resolution that I can get because I really want to see those dollar bills, y'all. Personally, I would strongly suggest this to anyone as it seems to be the best money mod right now. The previous one I was using, albeit very nice and the textures were perfect, it was a little too immaculate. And it was all $100 bills, which wasn't bad if you like balling with the Benjamins. But I wanted something a little bit more gritty and a little bit more true to the timeline, and this fits that purpose. Grey Tortoise Cigarettes Redux by GIGABYTE. The description reads as: for breakfast, it's pancakes and sausages. For lunch, it's sandwich in a box. For dinner, it's your wife's homemade chicken and pot pie. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is, every meal is as different as the night and day. There's only one thing they all have in common: the after meal cigarette. Make sure yours is as slow and as easy as Tortoise. Grey Tortoise, famous cigarettes. The perfect end to a well-balanced meal. Atomic Radio. Shit, I should have read it like a radio person. This is a complete redesign of both the cigarette carton and the cigarette packs. The carton and packs have been completely redone in order to increase the visual quality of these items in game. They remain as faithful as possible to not only the lore of the universe of Fallout 4, but also to the era of which Fallout draws its inspiration. And the mod author nails it right out of the park. If you were looking for that right look of cigarettes for the background of your Fallout character, if you do screenshots or, as I said before, making videos, whatever the case may be, these are probably some of the best you can do, if not the best. Personally, I go with Lucky Strikes for my in-game cigarettes, simply because I love the look of that 1950s bombshell on the carton. But my second overall choice is the Grey Tortoise, because the presentation here is top shelf, top class, well done. I just don't know why Bethesda has to constantly have modders come in and just kick everything up a notch. I don't know why, but I'm personally glad that the Nexus is going to have a modders pot or whatever where we can donate money, because I am all for that. Even though that has nothing to do with the mod, it just looking at some of these screen caps just makes me feel that way towards it. Last but not least is the Parasite armor pack from Rage. The mod author finally got some time to release the mod. This mod will add armors and some masks. Read the readme text before using. This armor mod is for female only, adding some masks from the online content. Armor can be crafted at the chemistry lab, and everyone feel free to make patches for crafting enhancement, etc. He's so grateful for it. Happy, enjoy my mod. I believe it also supports body slide. This adds Parasite armors from Metal Gear Solid 5. Now, if you really dig MGS5, this is probably the mod to pick up for you, especially if you like the Parasite armors. The conversion goes pretty well, and I have to say that I have to give the modder kudos for the simple fact that there are certain areas like the open eye areas of the masks where you can actually see your character's eyes. Some mods don't go through the extra hassle of giving you this ability. The see-through visor in the gas mask is also a very nice touch. The only sort of critique I could have for this mod is it would be nice if it was a little bit higher res, but since this seems like a port straight from MGS5, I'm happy and lucky that it got as far as it did, because I'm sure making mods is not an easy feat to undertake. There are a multitude of suits to choose from. I'd say about 3 or 4, as well as 4 or 5 different masks. Gas mask, sneaking suit mask, the Parasite face, where it's just like the bald woman's head with the sort of Borg looking eye thingy. If you've seen Star Trek, you know what I'm talking about. So if you are an armor collector, this might be something you want to pick up. And that's going to do it for me. Rate, comment, subscribe if you so choose to. If not, to hell with it. And as always, thank you for spending time with me. If you choose to follow me on social media, And just remember that every one of you that's behind me makes my voice louder, and in an industry becoming an echo chamber of excuses for corporations and microtransactions and companies that give sponsorships to girls who are just really pretty and sit on stream with their boobs out. The world needs Gundam, and I shall deliver to the children my magic and whimsy. God, I'm like Michael Scott from The Office, if he was angry.